It's a beautiful morning.
Having a beautiful morning doesn't require a beautiful morning. Because with McDonald's breakfast sandwiches, people can hold a little bit of sunshine right in their hands. In fact, a taste for McDonald's sizzling bacon, fresh cracked eggs, homemade biscuits, and hot McMuffins draws more people out of their homes than any other.
It's a beautiful
Of course, you don't need bad weather to have a beautiful morning. McDonald's, America's morning place.
Hot dog, please?
Want mustard on that or what?
No, thanks. I got it covered.
Heinz Ketchup. It's so rich, so thick. Why waste time with anything else? Heinz. The best things come to those who wait.
Once in a lifetime, there is a theatrical experience that touches the heart forever.
Now it has come to Grand Forks to touch your heart when the Chester Fritz presents The King and I, March 25th at 8:15 p.m.
Rogers and Hammerstein's The King and I. Don't miss it.
The King and I at the Fritz. Call 777-4211 for ticket information.
At Plunkett's Furniture, you'll find that special easy chair for any room. Plunkett's has a large variety of swivel rockers, recliners, rocker recliners, and wallaways. So many different styles in a rainbow of colors. All top quality velvets in name brands like Stylecraft, Berkline, Franklin, and Mastercraft. Beautiful quality chairs at affordable prices.
Plunkett's right now can sell you this large reclining chair for $129. At Plunkett's, we can save you money.
Agent. Nobody does it better than Barr. James Bond. Actions speak louder than words. Roger Moore. Octopussy next Sunday.
This is ABC.
Coming up on this late 10 o'clock report, an early morning fire in Otter Tail County, Minnesota kills 3 children. U of M President Kenneth Keller offers to quit in response to criticism, and Grand Forks basketball players show their love for a fellow player who died on the court 3 years ago. Jack with the weather, Dan with a big honor for Warroad's Larry Olam. Just call him Mr. Hockey. I'm Rose Brunsvold. The news is next.
The biggest sale of the year is on now at Goodman's during our Wishing Well celebration. You'll save in every department throughout the store. Save on international sofas in your choice of country, traditional, or contemporary at just $497. Matching love seats only $448. Or save 20 to 30% on all Lazy Boy recliners. Sale prices as low as $289. Over $2,500 in home furnishings will be given away during the Wishing Well celebration at Goodman, 1605 South Washington.
From WDAZ News in Grand Forks, Cecile Zesch, Jack Sand Weather, and Dan Kleitz Sports. This is your home team with the weekend edition of WDAZ News.
Good evening, I'm Rose Brunsvold. Cecile has the weekend off. A small town in Otter Tail County, Minnesota is in shock tonight after an early morning fire killed 3 children there. The fire started in the home of Richard and Catherine Rust near Richville, Minnesota. Tracy Briggs has the story.
Fire officials from Dent and Perham, Minnesota were called here around 12:30 this morning. A fire was ripping through the home of Richard and Catherine Rust, and before it was over, it would take the lives of 3 children. 8-year-old Robert and 3-year-old Jenny Rust and their 12-year-old babysitter Antoinette Wallace apparently died of smoke inhalation. The Rusts were attending a fundraising dinner in Dent when they got the call their house was burning. Dent Fire Chief Kurt Abbott says the cause of the fire is still not known.
We got so much water in the basement now, we can't find anything if that's where it started in the basement. We don't know what caused it yet, so find out maybe more tomorrow.
Abbott says the community has been hit hard by fires this winter, but without a doubt, this one is the hardest to take.
About 40 years at the fire department, and we've never had a life lost before till now, so now we have 3 of them. Everybody knows everybody in a small community like this, that, you know, everybody, of course, nothing you can do about it, I guess, now, except try and prevent it from happening again, I guess.
Fire officials will continue searching through the debris tomorrow in hopes of finding out the fire's cause. Tracy Briggs, WDAZ News, near Richville, Minnesota.
A Grand Forks man and 3 boys are safe today despite a close call with a blizzard. David Knapp says his car went into a ditch on I-94 east of Bismarck on Friday as he, his 2 sons, and a friend were on their way to a hockey tournament. Knapp caught a ride with a trucker into nearby Sterling, leaving the boys in the car. A highway patrolman bringing Knapp back to the car also went in the ditch. That's when Knapp decided to walk the mile back to his car. The boys had been in the car for 5 hours when Knapp returned. Knapp says he and the boys caught another ride into Sterling and were unharmed. University of Minnesota President Kenneth Keller says he is prepared to step down as soon as the Board of Regents can arrange for an interim president. Keller made the announcement just minutes ago from the U of N campus. Keller has said repeatedly during the last several days that he would not resign despite becoming embroiled in controversy over cost overruns at East Cliff, the president's official residence, and his office. A spokesman for Governor Rudy Perpich says Perpich met with Keller over the weekend but won't comment on the announcement until tomorrow. 5 lawmakers have called for Keller's resignation in recent days. Keller was named president in March of 1985. Students at Gallaudet University in Washington, D.C. have their wish, a deaf president. The nation's only liberal arts college for the hearing impaired made the selection tonight after a week of student protests forced the resignation of Dr. Elizabeth Zinser Friday. She is a former dean of nursing at UND. Zinser is not deaf and does not know sign language. Succeeding her is I. King Jordan, the dean of the school's College of Arts and Sciences. It's the first time in the school's 124-year history it has a deaf leader. School officials have also announced that the chairman of the Board of Trustees, Jane Bassett Stillman, has resigned. Ahead on the 10 o'clock report, fighting diabetes on the buddy system. And 3-year-old Matthew never knew his father, but Greg Sandy's friends will never forget him. We'll have those stories and more when we come back.
From the Northland Ford Quality Showcase.
This tough Durliner box liner protects your truck from dents and scratches. Makes it worth more at resale time. Now when you purchase any new Ford truck, you can get this $329 Duraliner for only $119. With special packages, you save over $2,600 on the truck, over $200 on the liner. It all adds up to a great time to see your Northland Ford dealer.
Hi, I'm Scott Hennon, morning man for K-Light 104 FM, and I'm on the Nutri-System weight loss plan. I've lost 57 pounds already, and best of all, I've never felt better. Nutri-System succeeds where other diets fail you. It's worked for me, I know it'll work for you. Call today for your complimentary consultation and keep following my progress weekday mornings on 104.3 FM K-Light. Nutri-System Weight Loss Centers in Bemidji, Grafton, and Grand Forks. Call 746-4566.
Israeli Prime Minister Yitzhak Shamir is headed for Washington to discuss the U.S. proposal for peace in the Middle East. Shamir says he opposes the plan and will be offering some alternatives during his meetings this week. Meantime, more than 3,000 people carrying Palestinian flags marched to the White House today, condemning both Israeli policies in the West Bank and Gaza Strip and U.S. policy toward Israel. The protesters called on the White House to freeze U.S. aid to Israel until the Israeli government supports and participates in the peace process. The presidential candidates are converging on the land of Lincoln, with Tuesday's Illinois primary looming large. Polls show the Democratic race will be close, with Jesse Jackson gaining ground on fellow Illinois resident Paul Simon. On the Republican side, Robert Dole trails Vice President George Bush, but says he's not ready to throw in the towel.
Despite his underdog status and some GOP party pressure not to drag the race out, Bob Dole insisted today he's going on. Full bore, not just through Illinois on Tuesday, but Wisconsin 3 weeks from now and other states.
I believe I have some obligation, not to look ridiculous, but some obligation
to stay in this race. In a pep talk to supporters, George Bush was looking ahead, too, beyond the primaries, beyond Dole, to the general election.
I'll be honest with you. I don't see anything in the world to worry about in the fall. Nobody wants the country to go back to the tired old ways of Carter and Mondale, and that's what you're hearing over there.
On the Democratic side, Al Gore lobbed one back at Bush when asked about the vice presidency.
Well, I have no interest in it at all and would almost certainly turn it down. I think George Bush is going to prove again this year that it's a dead-end job.
But as the Democrats went out looking for votes on this snowy Sunday at events like this early St. Patrick's Day parade, they were still mostly beating up on each other. Michael Dukakis selling the notion that a vote for Illinois favorite son Paul Simon is a vote for a messy, brokered convention.
I think the notion of a brokered convention for the Democratic Party would be a disaster. An absolute disaster.
There's a touch of arrogance to saying, you either vote for me or you're going to have a brokered convention.
Illinois' other favorite son, Jesse Jackson, was making the rounds of churches today, winding up at his own parish where no selling was necessary.
We the people can win! We the people can win!
In short, none of the Democratic leaders is backing off. On the Republican side, Bob Dole isn't backing off either, but Tuesday could further undercut his vow to go on. Barry Seraphin, ABC News, Chicago.
Our weekend snowstorm will do little to bring up the level of Lake Sakakawea. The lake is 7 feet lower than the mark a year ago. Anglers say the depth will hurt fish spawning this spring and make many boat ramps inaccessible. Well, the water is still pretty stiff around here. It looks like the remnants of the storm will be with us for a while. Jack's up next with the forecast. Stay tuned.
When you get a better tractor, you get a better warranty. That's John Deere 4-wheel drive. You're covered for 2 years or 2,000 hours on the whole machine. And on the engine and drivetrain, 3 years or 3,000 hours. That's some warranty. If you want to know who builds them better, look who backs them better. That's John Deere.
Sunflower companies know how important trials and test plots are. That's why they go all out to win, no matter what the obstacles. Sunflower growers trust the winners to yield the most profit. And who clears the hurdle for high yield and oil content? Interstate Seed, a consistent winner in sunflower trials. Nobody knows sunflower like Interstate.
Maury's 70-hour marathon sale is here. Maury's biggest sale event of the year. Tuesday through Friday from 8 a.m. till 11 p.m. and Saturday from 8 till 6. We've ordered extra truckloads of Whirlpool appliances for this special event. Whirlpool refrigerators, washers, dryers, ranges, everything in the store at marathon sale prices. Qualified buyers make no payments till June. Shop Maury's 70-hour marathon sale for the best deals ever. That's Maury's, Highway 220 North, East Grand Forks.
If you're thinking of buying a new truck anytime this year, now is the time to buy one at Rydell Chevrolet GMC. Our reasons are simple. We need your trade, and we have the best values and selection in our history because of special factory incentives. Get this full-size pickup with all this equipment for $84.99, or this S10 pickup for $59.99 using your factory cash back. So why wait? Pick out your new Chevrolet or GMC truck tomorrow during our Truck Blitz at Rydell Chevrolet GMC Grand Forks, your gold medal Chevy dealer.
Good evening. Hope you had a nice day today. We have some good news in the forecast, and that is there's sunshine tomorrow, but still temperatures will be rather cold for this time of year. We're under the influence of a dome of high pressure, weak high pressure, now cold Arctic air settling in over the region with the clearing skies. The temperatures going probably below the 0 mark tonight in part of the area, not very much below the 0 mark, but enough to too cold for this time of year. Meanwhile, that storm system continues to move to the northeast, still over the Great Lakes region, moving up into Canada. The cold air, by the way, has plunged all the way down into parts of Mississippi, extending also from the Rockies and over to Ohio. Some cold temperatures today didn't make it much above the freezing mark over a wide area. Snowfall today has been occurring in the Great Lakes region, snow squalls for the most part, and snow continues to fall in that region. They had up to 6 inches of snow in parts of Michigan the past 24 hours. And there's still snow in the forecast. In fact, there is a winter storm watch out for northeastern Ohio for tomorrow. Up to 8 inches of snow is possible from that same storm system. And it's rain down in Florida. Some of it has been heavy today. In many areas receiving over an inch of rain, 1 1/4 inches in the past 24 hours at Orlando, Florida, on this latest radar picture. And about 4 inches of snow fell today at Alamosa, Colorado, up in the mountains, and still some snow falling in part of the central Rockies in Colorado. Taking a look now at the surface map, that low-pressure system, as we said, is still in the Great Lakes region, and snow squall effects, for the most part, is what's causing the snow at this time, and that high pressure dominates our area. Still some snow is falling in parts of Minnesota, very light snow at this time, though. And that's about it on the surface map. Here's a look at the high temperatures today. Here are the cold temperatures we talked about, barely above the freezing mark, extending over a wide part of the nation. But the warmest in the entire nation was 89 degrees at Conch Key, Florida. Maybe you've heard of that place. I haven't. 85 today at Miami. The high today in Grand Forks was, well, there's Fargo-Moorhead, 16 degrees. Devil's Lake, 22. There's Grand Forks, 19 for a high. Devil's Lake, 22. Grafton, 17. Thief River Falls, 16. And in Fargo-Moorhead, 16. Minot, 21. Jamestown, 19. Twin Cities made it to 21 for a high today. But the high in the Tri-States was at Williston, North Dakota, with 28 degrees. Our low temperatures for tonight should go below the 0 mark, slightly below in the area shown on this map. And to the south of North Dakota should remain at least slightly above 0. And the high temperatures for tomorrow, again, warm down in Florida, highs in the 70s, not as warm as today. And we're looking at temperatures in our immediate area in the 20s. Some 30s will occur in western South Dakota and a small part of North Dakota. The surface map for tomorrow shows the high pressure continuing to dominate our area. This system out here is rather weak. Will bring some snow to the Rockies, should move to the southeast, shouldn't affect our weather. The extended forecast isn't too bad as far as precipitation. More snow tomorrow in the northeast and the Great Lakes. Back with the forecast right after this.
The weather brought to you by Glickson's and the Dakota Bank.
Of Devil's Lake announces Lee Fit Week. It's a celebration of all the different Lee jean styles available in sizes for men, women, boys, and girls. Plus, Lee is giving you the chance to win some great prizes in the Picture Yourself in Lee sweepstakes. Grand prizes include a trip for 2 in Barbados to a 21-day trip around the world. So stop into Glickson's today and pick out your favorite pair of Lee jeans, whether it's regular or the relaxed fit, and get some mileage out of your jeans. Meeting your financial needs in a personalized manner is a way of business at the Dakota Bank. People greet you with a smile and a handshake. Services are designed specifically for your needs, from full teller operations to discount brokerage. The Dakota Bank is secure, stable, and confident to provide for your financial future. Bank with an institution that recognizes you as an individual and offers an extensive financial network.
Experience the difference.
At the Dakota Bank, member FDIC.
And the current temperature readings, 19 at the Twin Cities, 11 at Warroad, 7 in Winnipeg, Devil's Lake 16, and 10 in Grand Forks. The dew point is 3, 79% relative humidity. Northwest winds at 10. Forecast for tonight, mostly clear and cold, northerly winds at 5 to 15. The lows for tonight, slightly below 0, about 3 below for Grand Forks, 2 below for Devil's Lake. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, that's good news. Northerly winds at 10 to 15. The highs for tomorrow, below normal, but still a gradual warming trend. 20 tomorrow for Grand Forks, generally low 20s. Clear to partly cloudy tomorrow night, 0 to 8. And we're looking for 20 to 25 on Tuesday, clear to partly cloudy. Extended forecast, no precipitation expected, mid-20s Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Maybe about the next weekend we'll have temperatures into the 30s. That certainly is possible. That's a look at the latest weather. Rose back with more news after these messages.
Just announced by Eide Motor Company of Grand Forks. Just off lease, quality, low-cost transportation you can afford. 86 Chrysler K-Cars loaded with extras. A $6,400 value, now from Eide's as low as $49.90. With just $299 down, only $126 a month. And here's more from Eide's. 87 Grand Ams, just off lease. These popular cars are loaded, as low as $89.90, or just $699 down and $179 a month. Trades accepted while they last. Right now at Eide Motor Company, Grand Forks.
The Summers skid-mounted Agri Sprayer for the finest in pickup-mounted spraying, available with 48 60-foot booms. The Agri Sprayer features self-leveling booms with adjustable nozzle heights. The booms feature a self-returning breakaway system. The 350-gallon low-profile tank uses a direct-drive centrifugal pump coupled to a gas engine. All Agri sprayers are equipped with electronic monitor control for ease of operation. Manufactured by Summers Manufacturing Company and distributed by
Hout Cooper Implement Can Do, Wales Implement, Devil's Lake Equipment.
Plunkett's Furniture has broken the price on bedding. Unbelievable savings on mattresses and beds. Choose from a huge variety of beds, brass, wood, rollaways, and studio day beds. And now, get this Singer queen-size Paul Bunyan bed, complete with rails, only $3.99. Choose from Sealy Posturepedic, King Coil Sidewall Construction, and Therapeutic Border Guard Construction mattresses, all at unbeatable prices.
Therapeutic Citation, single-size mattress or box spring, $39. At Plunkett's, we can save you money.
Limitations are difficult for most of us to accept, but it can be especially tough for children with limitations like asthma or diabetes. But it's a challenge that's met success in one case, as our Dr. Bob Lanier explains in today's 60-second house call.
Getting diabetic teenagers to accept the prospect of a chronic disease is very difficult. Sometimes they respond better to example from an adult than a lecturer. Researcher Pam Daly has constructed a program around this concept.
Teenagers are not willing to believe that complications can happen to them, or they feel powerless because of the disease and respond by becoming reckless.
In this study, teens were matched with adult diabetics on the basis of sex, mutual interest, and cultural background. Pam Miller and Susan Bailey have been working together for over a year.
I used to think that it'd kind of be like a drag and not be able to do things and go different places. But she's told me that you could carry your insulin, so I've been able to go different places.
I think that teenagers, when they have diabetes, are in a vulnerable, turbulent kind of period in their life, and I think they need somebody to talk to about it that's older and been through it.
Funded by Herc Roussel Pharmaceuticals, this study may become the prototype for the education of teenagers with a number of different medical problems, because it works. I'm Dr. Bob Lanier.
House Calls brought to you by Kamrowski Henriksen Funeral Home. When you fill your prescription, put your trust in Devil's Lake Drug, a computerized pharmacy, prescription price guarantee, your full-service pharmacy, Devil's Lake Drug.
3 years ago, former Red River basketball player Greg Sandy died of a sudden heart attack while playing the game. Today, 8 teams competed in a basketball tournament at the Hislop Sports Center in his honor. Proceeds from the tournament will buy a savings bond for Sandy's son Matthew, who was born 8 months after he died. And as Laura McCallum reports, Sandy's memory lives on in more ways than one.
Matthew is too young to realize it, but all this is partly for him. This tournament is a memory of his father, Greg Sandy, who died before Matthew was even born. Sandy found out his wife, Tracy, was pregnant with Matthew only a week before he died. Sandy played basketball most of his life, both at Red River High School and in city leagues. But during one of the few games Tracy didn't attend, he had a sudden heart attack.
Yeah, he was very athletic and played basketball. Every day, almost.
He'd be out there. Everybody else would have played 3 games and gone home, and he'd be out shooting for 20 minutes.
He played and was very physically active, and it was really a shock. And he was playing one night, took himself out of the game, and just slipped out of his chair.
Now his friends play basketball in his name. Today's tournament is the second of its kind, and the players plan to continue the annual event.
I think it's because of the cause that we get the turnout we do. I don't think anybody really would have wanted to play a tournament on a Sunday, especially after that storm yesterday.
Those who knew Greg say this is what he would have wanted as someone who loved basketball. And his wife goes so far as to say even his death was fitting.
If it was going to happen, that was the best way for it to happen, definitely.
Today's tournament raised $750 from donations and a $50 entry fee. And it will buy a savings bond for Matthew, plus donate to the YMCA's Heritage Foundation. Hansen says that's appropriate because Sandy spent so much of his time there and played so well there.
At the Y, he was just outstanding. If you were on Greg Sandy's team, you won.
Sandy's memory lives on through the efforts of his friends. Laura McCullum, WDAZ News, Grand Forks.
And in sports, the Sioux hockey team is supposed to find out tonight if it's in or out. Dan is next.
You
Get $35 trade allowance for your old coat in the Ugly Sport Coat Contest at Strauss. Prizes awarded for the ugliest entry. This week only at Strauss.
We have had more than a few calls. The suspense is high.
It's killing all the fans out there. I know it was killing some of the Sioux. They're waiting at home, waiting to hear. The media is waiting to hear. Well,
we're waiting to hear.
Yeah, are they in or are they out? Well, the NCAA Selection Committee has been haggling over it since 6 o'clock tonight, but no official word is in yet. But Channel 8 Sports has learned tonight that the Sioux will not be invited into the NCAA Tournament 12. Now, according to the Wisconsin State Journal, the pairings will look like this. Wisconsin versus Lowell, Northeastern versus Merrimack, and Minnesota versus Lake Superior State. The other bracket has Bowling Green up against Vermont, Harvard against Michigan State, and Maine versus St. Lawrence. Now, once again, this is not official, but it comes to us via the Wisconsin State Journal. Well, in prep hockey, Warrow may have to settle for a fourth-place finish, but it has the best hockey player in the state. Tonight, Larry Olam was named Minnesota's Mr. Hockey 1988. The senior defenseman netted 31 goals for the Warriors this season, leading them to the state tournament unbeaten and ranked #1. But his biggest contribution was his stability and stick work on defense. Olam played nearly 42 minutes in Friday's overtime loss against Ident, then almost the entire game on Saturday against Jefferson. Olam will suit up next year for the Gophers. His goaltender teammate Chad Erickson was also a candidate for the award. NHL, the North Stars have the rights to Olam. They beat Pittsburgh yesterday, but today the Penguins topped the Jets 5-4. Washington blanks Boston. Quebec wins 4-1. It was Detroit 5-1 over the Islanders. Chicago wins in overtime 5-4. Buffalo leads Vancouver 5-2. LA up 2-1 on St. Louis. Bantam AA hockey had Park River over Grand Forks South today, 12-0 for the state title there. Well, in basketball, the NCAA tournament is set there. We'll check that out right after this.
Introducing Nordic. Introducing Telemark. 2 new spring wheats from Agripro. Nordic, very high yields, very high test weights, even under stress. Telemark, high protein and short, strong straw. Manage Telemark for maximum production. Farmers are talking about Nordic and Telemark, new from Agripro. Order your seed today.
Contact Stephen Seed House, Stephen, Minnesota, or Dick's Seed Farm, Munich, North Dakota.
The East Grand Forks Optimist Club proudly presents the Great RV Roundup, March 17th, 18th, and 19th at the South Forks Plaza Pavilion. This is easily the largest display of recreational and related vehicles in the area. Come out and bring the family. Booze will be set up. Prizes will be given away. Talk personally with these area merchants about the latest styles and models of recreational vehicles available. All during the RV Roundup. See you there.
The field for the greatest sports tournament is now set. 64 teams either won their way in or got the invitation today to the NCAA 64. Here's the top 4 seeds going in. In the Southeast, it's Oklahoma with Kentucky #2. In the West Regional, Arizona pulls in the top seed with North Carolina second. Purdue is the top seed in the Midwest Regional, followed by Pittsburgh. And the top-ranked team in college ball right now is the top seed in the East, Temple, with Duke #2. Now, by the way, Duke heads the 5 teams from the ACC. The Blue Devils down North Carolina today for the conference tournament title there. Watch this second half Carolina break. Who's going to take the charge against J.R. Reed? Nobody. Yet the big man nets a career-low 7 points. Duke answers. Quinn Snyder spots Robert Brickey inside for the alley-oop. Late in the game now. Big hoop right here is Danny Ferry. Will pump in 3 of his 19 right here as Duke tops the Tar Heels for the 3rd time this year. Last time that happened 22 years ago, 65-61 for the ACC. In the Big East, Syracuse wins at 85-68 over Villanova. 6 teams from the Big East are in the tournament 64. In the finals of the Big 8 tournament, Oklahoma tops Kansas State 88-83. Pac-10, Arizona crushes Oregon State 93-67. In the Southeast tournament, it's Kentucky 62-57 over Georgia. And in the Southwest finals, that had SMU dropping Baylor 75-64. Well, the Metro Conference title goes to Louisville 81-73 over Memphis State. The NCAA tournament starts this Thursday and ends April 4th in Kansas City. NBA action today had the Celtics knocking down the Hawks for the 9th straight time in the Boston Garden. Not a good sign for the Atlanta come playoff time. The Celtics' Larry Bird has been wearing Jabbar goggles this week to protect a broken eye bone, but no effect on this shot as he flips in the left-hander. Not to be outdone for the highlight tape, I guess, watch Spud Webb spin up. Race down court, then scoops in off the glass and draws the foul. But no matter today, as Boston took command from the start and the bench cleans up, Fred Roberts lays in, and Boston cruises 117-100. In local women's basketball, UND Lake Region is down in Senatobia, Mississippi tonight, getting ready for its Tuesday matchup in round 1 of the National Junior College Tournament. The 23-8 Lady Royals go in, averaging 80 points a game, 20 more than their opponent. The Open against a bigger team from Mitchell Community College out of Connecticut.
What we're going to do is stick with what we've done before, and that's press them and get back quickly and offensively push the attack and see if we can get after it like Loyola does, where they score 110 a game.
We've handled teams well with our press, and I think if we can keep our offense intact, take the good shots, and just keep working hard, I think we can pull through.
In exhibition baseball today, the Twins lose for the 3rd straight time today, 3-2 to Chicago's White Sox. The Twins left the bases loaded in the 9th inning. They'll meet Kansas City tomorrow. College baseball from today, Southwest Texas State tops UND down south 6-4. Then Southwest Texas really gets the Sioux 20-4 in Game 2. Dave Leaker hitting a home run for the Sioux in Game 2. And I guess I'm told this just in, the Sioux, this is official, will not be going to the NCAA Final 12 tournament.
All right.
So those pairings we showed you earlier are probably darn close to being right.
Bad news for Sioux fans.
Yeah, they're going to have to clean out the lockers tomorrow. They were supposed to practice at 11, but I guess that's when they'll meet and talk about next year, I guess.
There's always next year.
They'll be all right next year. Young team.
Okay, great. Thanks a lot, Dan. Thanks for being with us. We hope you had a great weekend, and we'll see you again tomorrow. Good night.
The North Dakota Supported Employment Program benefits your entire community by putting people with disabilities to work. The program benefits the employer by guaranteeing the job will be done right. Supported employment benefits the employee by increasing their self-esteem and promoting a more active role in the community. And the program benefits the community by creating fewer demands on tax dollars used to support public programs. To find out more about supported employment, contact your vocational rehabilitation office. Channel 8 Television, WDAZ, Devils Lake, Grand Forks. California raisins from the California vineyards.
Don't you know I heard it through the grapevine?
Sounds great, doesn't it?
When your sore throat burns, every second counts.
I'm counting.
You want relief, and you want it now.
I want this pain out of here.
That means Chloraseptic, because only Chloraseptic has the powerful anesthetic phenol that penetrates nerve endings for relief in seconds. Relief so fast, the moment you feel it, we'll stop this commercial.
Kids, could you please go down to the freezer and bring up some Vandy Camps for dinner?
Sure, Mom.
Vandy Camp's fish. They taste fresh because they're frozen fresh. Then they're dipped in crispy breadcrumbs or golden egg batter for a taste your family will love.
For dinner?
Once they catch
Henry,
them.
of course you're welcome. Kids, could you go down to the freezer and grab some more?
Vandy Camp's, the freshest ideas in frozen fish. Look for special savings on this tempting trio in your Sunday paper.